Welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and make brand new treasures. So today we're going to do something totally different. Today we're going to make fancy theater barrettes. You see that? See all the theater images there? And you see there's the barrette on the background, on the back. So you can wear these if you like to wear your hair up in ponytails. Got another one here. This one's inspired by 6. You see the barrette on the background there. We've got this one. It's for the theater lover. Isn't that fun? And then this is the one we're going to make today. So we're going to take images that you find in programs or on theater posters, and we're going to turn them into really fancy theater barrettes. So let's get crafting. Let's take a look at these theater barrettes. So we've got a theater lover. You can see the theater images, the playbills in black and white. I just thought this was kind of a cool approach there. And you see the barrette on the reverse side there. You just unhook it, and there are felt pieces on the back just to protect your hair from the elements of it. Here's one that is 6, and it's the same image, 2 different sizes. So I layered that, and you can see these are pretty solid. They have acrylic on them. I added just for some movement there. And again, there's the back, and these are right from the programs. And then this one here, this one I used glass glitter on, so that it would get some sparkle. And you can see it's layered. So there are images in the back there, and then images in the front, and just adding again some trim, and there's the back barrette there. All right, and so let me clear the space here, and I'll show you what we're going to use for today. So here are the materials for today. You're going to need, obviously, a barrette. I've got pages from a program here. I'm going to actually just use the Broadway there. And this was a guide. I've used this for a variety of projects, but this, I'm going to use these images of the posters. So we'll get that. And then I'm using some felt. This is literally just a piece of scrap felt that I have, and that's for the back. And some trim for the decorative elements. Now I'm going to use some resin. This is resin that cures using a lamp, and here's the lamp that I have. But you can use any kind of lamp. I have a small one here too. This is just a simple lamp, whatever works for you. I always put my resin on a paper plate just to make it easier to use. And then I have a glue gun and glue sticks. You need scissors, something to cut your pieces with. And then the other thing that I found that was helpful is because the barrette has, a curve to it, I decided to find something in my house that had a curve to it as well, so that when I'm doing the resin, it's giving a little bit of a curve. Find anything that works. It could be a vase, it could be a glass, anything like that. I just had this, and I put a piece of paper over it just to protect the surface. So, and a towel just on each side, just to keep it from rolling while I'm working. You might want to use gloves too, since you're using resin. I am not going to be touching the resin at all, so I'm not going to have the gloves with me. But that's it. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to cut this brochure. I'm just going to cut the images, and I found that 4 was probably a good size here. You can make them larger, like this one here. It's actually larger than the barrette. You can make whatever size you would like. So I've got that, and then I think I might use some of these. I actually like the Lion King image for the top. And then I might do Aladdin too. I think I'll do 3 on the top. So I'll do 4 on the bottom and 3 on the top. And then, let's see, maybe Miss Saigon. Just looking at colors, just trying to have a variety of color here, just for visual interest. Okay. All right, let me put that aside. All right, so we've got these pieces. I'm going to, like I said, put them, I'm going to kind of roll these a little bit. Just put them on this longer one on here. And now I did find that it was easier, and I should have done that here. I did find it was easier to tape it down to keep it from moving around, but you can make it work here too. I have a little toothpick just to keep my hands out of the way, so I'm not touching the resin, and literally just taking a brush and painting the resin right on it. I am going to do multiple layers of it, and it's totally up to you how you, what you add. Like you can add, like I said, glitter. I did use the glass glitter on it, on one of them, but most of them I didn't. All right, so I'm going to here just take this, and I'm going to, oops, I'll just unplug my lamp. So I'm just going to probably 60 seconds just cure this, and I'll be right back. Okay, and so here we go. That is cured. You see there's a little bit of overlap there. It's not a problem. You can just take your scissors and just cut that off. There's only, if you do it in between, it will actually it'll be easy to cut that overhang off. So what I'm going to do next, I actually have a little mat here. This is just a cutting mat that I use for crafting. And what's great is that the resin doesn't stick to it, so it makes for a really nice craft surface, because I want to protect my counter here. So I'm going to now do, I'm going to do flat. So you can see this is a little bit curved. You can still, even just like by kind of massaging the underneath part, make it a little bit curved, which will work out great later. So I'm going to add resin to the flat pieces here. I'm going to do very similar to the one that I did before, the other one that has all the colorful theater images. This is great for, like, if you have a theater lover. If you love musical theater, you could wear this to a festival, to a Broadway show. You could wear it to a Tony Award party. That would be really fun. I'm going to flip this one around into the back as well, just to make sure that it's nice and protected. This is going to make it nice and sturdy. If you notice the other ones, they are quite sturdy, so it should hold up while you're wearing it. All right, so again, I'm going to cure these. Give it about 60 seconds under the lamp, and I'll be right back. While that's curing, I'm actually going to cut out this Broadway. So this is literally right out of a program. I'm going to cut out the word Broadway. So I think I'm going to put Broadway over the theater images, kind of like I did with theater lovers on the other one. So just want the word Broadway. I think maybe Broadway exclamation point. Okay, that looks fun. Okay, and so I'm going to actually put some this is done. You can see this, a little bit of overhang there. So I will cut that off in just a moment. I'm going to add some Broadway, some acrylic, resin to the Broadway, just to make sure that's nice and sturdy. And I'm going to put these in for another 60 seconds under the light. Okay, they have cured. We've got, you can see that on one side. I'm going to do the other side as well. And then I'm going to go back and do the front side again. So it's sticking a little bit here, which is fine. We're going to go back and redo those. Okay. That's the beauty of these mats. They come off pretty easily. All right, I'm just cutting off some of that excess acrylic resin that we've got going on there. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'm going to do the back side of these, and I'm going to do the front side of this one again in just a moment. So let's do the back side. And this is just for strength. We're not going to see the back, but it's just to give it a little bit of extra strength because it is, after all, paper. So we want to make sure that we're giving it as much stability as we can. Okay. All right. And here we go. Again, I'm going to put a couple minutes under the light. Okay, so I'm going to put one more coat on the front. I always like to do the front as the last coat, just in case it gets kind of, smeared a little bit as you're doing the back side. So just try to do one kind of really even coat if you can, just to make it nice and shiny too. So I'm just going to do one last coat on the front here, and I'll cure that, and then we'll move on to the next step. So they have cured. I'm going to put that over to the side, and I'm just going to trim off any acrylic that might be overhanging. Okay, so next we're going to use the felt, and I'm actually going to glue these pieces right onto the felt. And now you don't have to use the felt here. I didn't on the first set. You see here, this is the set, and you can see I used, in order to give it a raised look, I used double-sided foam tape. But you don't have to. On this one here, I did as well, you can see, but on this one I did not. This one I just used the felt just to give it a raised look. So it's totally up to you, but it's nice to give dimension to them. So that's why I chose to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to glue these pieces onto the felt, just using a regular hot glue gun. Then I'll cut them out after the glue has cured, or cooled. Actually, it's not. Don't need to worry about it curing here. I am going to add a little bit of a. Only these strings. I am going to add a little bit of a kind of a, I don't know, frame around it with the glue, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm done gluing this. I found that it made it easier to add trim if you add the glue around, or the frame around the edges. So give it a little bit of a border, Now you don't have to use felt. I actually used, on one of them I used ribbon. So you could use whatever you have available. If you have a piece of fabric or a piece of leather, that would work too. I The only condition that you need to think about is you want to make sure that when you close it, that you still have enough room that you can put your hair in. So that's what I would worry about there. Okay. So now on the one that I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put the sequins. It's kind of a fun border. I think I'm going to put it around this one here. So I might do that before I cut it out. I think that will make it a little bit easier. I tried doing these after, this one especially, I did it afterwards, and it actually was quite hard to put it in. This one I did like kind of after I cut it out. So if you do it before, it might make it easier to just adhere that. I kind of like the look of that. And you could do it on all of them. It's totally up to you what your design looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the sequins around the top here. You don't have to watch me do all of that. And then I will, when I'm done, I will come back and I'll show you how we're going to do the next part. See, that's all you have to do. We're going to cut it out, so don't worry about the edge there. All right, I'll be back in a moment. So I have added the trim to all of the pieces, and I even added it down the center in between each of the posters. I was kind of thinking it looked a little like a marquee is kind of my thought process. I've got glue strings everywhere, but no worries. I'm going to cut those off as we go around anyway, so it's okay. So now I'm going to cut around the edges close to the trim. And you got it like that, nice and shiny. All right, so I'm going to cut these out, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've cut them out, and now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to place them. And I actually think this one's a little bit, it's too much. So I think I'm going to do it this way. I was originally planning to do it kind of like layered like this, but I actually like the Broadway, and I want to be able to showcase that and not have it cover everything. So I think I'm going to do these two pieces on the side. It covers up a little bit of Bronx Tale and Anastasia, but you can still see them, so I think I'll leave that like that. It gives a little bit of dimension too, which I like. Right. I'm very sloppy with the glue today. I don't know what's up with that. Get that out of there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put the. Sorry, I got glue all over my hand. I'm going to put the Broadway up towards the top here. Again, just gluing that down. And then I thought I wanted to cover those spaces just a little bit. And I had these brads. So, oops. Sorry, just got my glue gun. So I have these brads, and I thought these would be kind of cool. I took the backing off just with some wire cutters there, and I think I'm just going to glue these kind of in between there, just to cover up that space. Be careful, these are. They are metal, so they get very hot. Glue strings today. Okay. That's fun. And then I've got this. Now, I've got a lot of gold going on here. And I thought, oh, that might be kind of a cool embellishment there. This is they're charms that I've got. And I, again, took the wire cutters and cut off the hole there. But, and I could paint it, honestly. But I think I kind of like that there. So I'm going to put that right there. It's a little tricky because there's so much space in the middle there. But I'm going to kind of go this way. Goodness gracious. Like stuff falling all over the place today. That's fun. So I'll save this for another project. I think I'll hold off on that. And kind of has like a, kind of looks a little circusy, doesn't it? Now you can see we've got the depth to it there. Now we're going to, I'm going to need another piece of felt. Let me grab some more felt, and we're going to add that to the back of the piece here. Don't have a lot of that felt left. And what I've done is I, in the past, have taken my piece like this, okay, and put this underneath, and then this on top, kind of where I want it to be. And then I'm going to glue that down. Actually, I want to cut this down just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to glue this down. And I'm going to glue it so that the this is going to cover both. You'll see in a moment what I'm talking about. So I'm going to glue this, glue around there, and on the barrette itself. And then this is going to go this way. So it's encasing the barrette, if that makes sense. All right, and that way it'll give some stability to the barrette itself. Okay. Just let that cool. And then that's it. Look at that. It's really fun. I like it. All right, let me pull out the others and we'll see what they all look like. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, we got these. We got this one. And we got this one. Let me put this one together. There we go. And like I said, you can do any sort of design with these. I just think those are really fun. Barrettes are back. If you have long hair, you'd like to put it in a ponytail, especially for rehearsal. You could put it in a ponytail for rehearsal and do it in a stylish way. All right, so thank you for joining me for this week's Theater Craft. I will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.